Hi, this is Lisa of Authentic Partnership, and I'm a marketing strategist and coach for mom entrepreneurs. And today I want to tell you a little bit about why I'm a coach for mom entrepreneurs. It is kind of crazy to me when I stop and think about it that I do anything with marketing, because I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I'm a little bit of a hippie. Actually, I'm a lot of a hippie, and I am kind of a doomer. I don't think that civilization is going to last the way that it is for even probably my whole lifetime. I am kind of not a capitalist, little bit of an anarchist, definitely a socialist. So like, what the fuck am I doing helping people with their marketing? For a long time, I was doing marketing strategy for small businesses, and I hated it. Like, I was a freelance consultant, and people would ask me what I did, and I would say I work for the man, except the man is me, except not really, because it's not like I'm rich. I don't know what the fuck I do. Shut up. I gotta do something different. But just really kind of recently, actually, I started to really think about what the hell I was doing with my life and what I wanted to do. And I realized that, helping mom entrepreneurs was a part of it. I co-founded a group years ago with a friend of mine that was a support group for mom entrepreneurs. And I realized that, I thought that I just cared about that because I am one, but I realized that's not true. And I realized that actually, even though I'm not into capitalism at all, the late stage corporate capitalism that we live in is very, very different from small entrepreneurs, particularly because, I think there's a theory which I've actually loved for a really long time. I first heard about it from G.K. Chesterton, the idea that that power should be held at a local level, that it should be as small as possible, as distributed as possible. And I believe this for years and years. I identify as, I was a localist before it was popular, y'all. But that's, people are starting to become aware of that more and more. And there's a guy named Leopold Kohr, who I just discovered recently, who talks about, he believes that it doesn't really matter what kind of economic system you have. It can be, socialism, capitalism, whatever. It doesn't matter. The size of it is what determines whether it's any good. And he says that, a big system is always going to become oppressive, and a small system is not. And this to me is really true if you look at just nature. Biodiversity is what matters. There's no type of animal or plant or, floral system that is good or bad. The problem is if one of them tries to take over, if one gets too big, and nature has, stops in place to prevent that from happening. Human society, not so much, and that is what's wrong with us. Ultimately, the problem is that we're too big. We're trying to live within a system that's way too big. So here's what's great about that. I mentioned that I'm a doomer. I believe that this system is going to collapse because it's too big. And when I say this system, I mean everything. I mean, corporate capitalism. I mean, governmental systems. I mean, honestly, civilization itself. But I also believe that if we're going to preserve any level of civilization after the big collapse, then one of the ways we're going to be doing that is through small entrepreneurs. Because what it really means to be an entrepreneur is to look at your community, to look at the world around you and say, community need, and what needs can I help fill? And that's a really important thing and a full thing, and a really valuable thing. It means finding the way that you can best add value to the people around you, to the community around you. And that's what you're doing as a small entrepreneur. If you're starting something new, then what you're doing is you're looking around and you're saying, well, what's needed? Years ago, I worked as a adventure facilitator with a program in Romania. We did a service learning program. And what we did when we started a new service learning club, the first thing we did was always take the kids on a tour of their town, a tour of their community. And we'd ask them, what do you see that you need? What is not being done here? What's missing? What's necessary? And that's exactly what you're doing as an entrepreneur, is you're looking around and you're saying, what's needed? What's necessary? How can I help? And if everything does collapse, then that skill, the ability to see those needs and step into them, is going to be the thing that holds civilization together. So, my fellow entrepreneurs, thank you for saving the world every day. Keep preserving civilization. I love you.